The following is a Learfield presentation of the Rhody Sports Network. On the Rhody Sports Network.
You know, to be quite honest with you, it's humbling to be with good people. That's what we wanted to be a part of.
This is the Archie Miller Show. For the next hour, we'll bring you an inside look at Rams basketball. Tonight's show is brought to you by New England Laborers, Liuna, Feel the Care, Pizza Gourmet. Rhode Island's Wood Grilled Pizza Crust is a proud sponsor of URI Athletics. Haxton Liquors, where we buy the most so you pay the least. Newport Propane, Rhode Island's #1 choice for all your propane needs. Orthopedics Rhode Island, the official orthopedic and sports medicine provider for URI Athletics. Dave's Fresh Marketplace, better food, better service. Bank RI, bank on our strength. Now, here's your host, Steve MacDonald.
All right, welcome once again to the URI Network, and we've got ourselves the Archie Miller Coaches Show, and we're doing it live from Boon Street Market. Awesome place. I mean, place is jumping, and it is great. It's like what is it like? It's like a food court, right? It's just a food court. You go, you get all your different selections of what you want to get, and you are on your way, and sit down on the big screen and watch. We got UMass and Boston College about to tip off here. Not the game that I might pick, but I'll take it. You know, anything is fine as long as I got this pizza in front of me. The pink vodka chicken parm pizza is what I went with today. I want to thank BJ and Jake, the owners and managers who invited us down here. We appreciate that. Big URI supporters and terrific people. You know what, Coach? Here's the deal. Crazy Burger is a restaurant that was down the street. Right around the corner. They went out of business, right? They closed up. So everybody knows everybody down here, and everybody's good friends and everything. So BJ and Jake said, hey, listen, if you're stuck with a gift card to Crazy Burger because they're not open anymore, bring it on over here. We'll take care of you.
Yep. These guys at Boon Street, they're for the people.
Yeah.
This place is a great place. They've been, not only great supporters for us in a lot of different avenues, but our team's been out here quite a bit. Recruiting comes out here quite a bit.
Oh, cool.
They've been able to cater and help us in some things, but this is a great spot.
Absolutely. We want to thank them for having us down here all the time. We're here last year, here again today, and we'll be here again. You know that. Hey, one somber note before we get going, a note of respect. Ron Petro, former athletic director at the University of Rhode Island in the late 90s and early 2000s as well, 1992 to 2004, helped build the Ryan Center, Boss Arena as well. He was the AD when those buildings went up. Had the Elite Eight run with URI basketball back then. He invented the Great Alaska Shootout when he was working up at Alaska Anchorage. Just a wonderful person and a great leader at URI. Passed away, and we wanted to send our best out to the family and respect Ron very much and all that he did for URI. So keep him in your thoughts and prayers and the family as well. Coach, you got some business to take care of. Tough one yesterday as Rhode Island lost by a couple to McNeese. Want to talk about that final minute of last night's game with you. Let's start with it right now. Go step by step. Fair enough?
Yep.
I want to take you from the final two URI possessions. Both of them ended up in turnovers. Yeah, and one, you got the ball back on a held ball. So I got the possession back anyway, and the other one you lost, which turned into a bucket down the other end. Talk about how important 21 turnovers in the game, obviously a number that you're not happy with, but those two critical ones.
Yeah, I think last night's game was probably, the straw that sort of broke the back in terms of it's got to stop.
Okay, yeah.
And we as a program obviously work very hard to make players better and run good offense and put them in positions obviously to be successful. But right now we're not getting enough carryover in one area offensively that would really, really, really benefit us as we keep moving forward, which is taking care of the ball. Mm-hmm. Now McNeese, they're top 5 or top 10 in the country defensively in stealing the ball, taking the ball away. They have a very unique system and style. So you're going to have some hard possessions, but you have to be good in the possessions that you can control. And I think the lead up into the last minute, you can look at those two possessions and say, man, we broke down. We didn't either execute, get strong on the catch, end up getting a tie up. last play, obviously driving the ball a little bit too deep into a crowd when you have the pass. But it's a unique way of playing against a team that you can't really run a whole lot. Mm-hmm. They're switching every screen. They're switching every exchange, every ball screen, everything half court. And they're shrinking your clock with their press, that you don't have a lot of things that you can do. You have to be able to play the game. But when you have your opportunities last night, whether you get a stop off the glass, whether you create a turnover, or whether you have the ability to play with numbers in transition, that's the thing right now that's killing our team more than anything. Is we are not playing smart basketball when we have advantage basketball. Mm-hmm. When we have numbers, when we have defense to offense, when we are in transition, when the other team is most vulnerable, we cannot throw the ball away. We cannot step out of bounds. We cannot dribble off our foot. Mm-hmm. Like, we have to be very, very confident and good when we're in the flow of defense to offense and making good decisions, because there's 5 or 6 that don't have anything to do with McNeese, mm-hmm. and it has everything to do with us.
Right.
And 21 turnovers. Ultimately, we couldn't win the game with the 21 after 40 minutes. But that being said, we had our chances to take that game even with 21 turnovers. So there were some other things in the game that we did well enough. But the turnover factor in our 4 losses is extremely high. And if you look at our team in general, when we're successful, they're down. It's not a secret to success. I mean, taking care of the ball is everything. But right now, we're at an alarming rate of not taking care of it. And I think that's going to stop moving forward with guys being in and out of the game, for turning it over, our practice habits, everything that we're doing in individual instruction. We've got to be a much stronger team executing in transition. And then playing on drives right now, we're turning it over quite a bit as well. We're not smart as we get into crowds. And it's just a whole philosophy of how we have to do it moving forward. Everything is about taking care of the ball.
And those 5 or 6 unforced turnovers that you talked about that didn't have anything to do with the opponent, that goes from 21 down to 15. You might not be happy with 15, but you can live with it.
Hey, look, 15 means you get 6 more shots.
Yeah, you can live with that and win that game.
If you get a point of possession or you draw a few more fouls at the end of the day, maybe you have a 5-point lead at the end of the game. But, ultimately turnovers right now, 23 points off turnovers at Providence. Mm-hmm. 20 points off turnovers last night. That's 43 points in our last 2 games that we've given our opponents not taking care of the ball. And it's not just, hey, the players got to do better. That's what we as a staff spend the last 6 hours today doing in constructing the approach, the message, and then the execution of we're taking care of the ball when we get back.
The kids had the day off today right after the game.
We're in finals.
So you're ready to go tomorrow.
Our guys could our guys could probably use 2 or 3 in a row.
Yeah.
We've been on a stretch. If you count it back to the preparation of heading to Yale, which was on a Tuesday night on the road, Monday and Sunday, we would have been on from that Sunday pretty much on until last night at McNeese with at Yale, travel to Orlando, play 3 games, 3 days. You come back, you have the Brown and the Providence game back-to-back, and then when you get done with Providence, in less than 48 hours, you got McNeese. So we've been on one. Our guys mentally need a recharge. Physically, we need a recharge in terms of getting our legs. We're also in finals, so we've got to take care of business right now. And, 2 games in the next 2 weeks gives us a chance, I think, to start to work on some things as we head into conference that's going to be vital.
I like Tuesday games. You get good officials on Tuesday nights. There's not a lot of games out there.
Yeah, I mean, we had a great crew last night. I didn't think they were awesome, but you don't complain when you have those guys on the game. And we've had good officiating pretty much, I think, all the way through, whether it be at Yale on the road or whether we be down in Orlando with high major crew last night. We're getting good crews. I mean, our schedule's been really odd. Mm-hmm. It's the first season I've ever been at where we won't have a Saturday weekend home game. Gotcha. We haven't had a weekend home game.
Right, a long time.
We won't have one until January 24th.
Wow.
But the other thing about it is our schedule's been built to obviously challenge ourselves. And, I think last night was our 11th total game, and only 5 of them have been in the Orion Center.
Yeah, right. You're 5-0.
So we've been on the road
4-1 in the Orion Center now. You mentioned the schedule, Coach. I want to pick up. I do want to get back to that last 16.9 seconds eventually.
Yep.
But when you bring things up, it piques my interest, and I want to get to them. Non-conference schedule, obviously a big upgrade for Rhode Island as far as competition this year. You got 2 quad 1 games under your belt and 2 quad 2 games under your belt. So that's 4 games, quad 1 or 2, with the win against Yale as the win on the quad 1 side. And you got Tulsa, who's 46 in the net. Yale is 35. Vermont, down on the net at 170, but they're preseason number 1. They're going to win the America East probably. Towson, same type thing. They're in the hundreds, but they're the favorite to win the CAA. Providence College is top 100, 94, and McNeese comes in at net 49. Yeah. So you've really put together a schedule that's challenging.
We really wanted to challenge ourselves with the best competition and stage that we could put ourselves on. And, when you go to Yale, you go to Providence, you're going to be in Orlando. You have 5 really high major games that you don't know what they'll all look like. Tulsa was a game that we scheduled really early to go down to the Naval Academy. And Tulsa's going to be, I think Tulsa, of all the teams that we've played against this year, was as impressive as any.
They're 46 on the net right now.
Right now, from an efficiency standpoint, they're 1-2 in the American right now as they enter conference play in the next couple weeks, that they're going to have a chance to compete to win that one. So I think Tulsa's going to have a great season. Yale's going to have a great season. Vermont and Towson will both be there to win their leagues. McNeese will win their league, probably win 30 games. So from a non-conference standpoint, we're getting exposed. We're having to compete, and we're having to play against good teams and good circumstances that's going to set us up as we get into January and February, that when you're in those type of games, you understand what you have to do.
I think you'll see the benefits of it after January. I really do. Speaking of which, the Atlantic 10, the net ranking looks pretty good for the A10. They're actually very good. They got 3 top 50 teams right now. St. Louis at 30, GW at 45, and VCU at 47 in the net. And then another, we have 7 in the top 100 with Mason and St. Bonaventure. 7 in the top 100 with Mason and St. Bonaventure, Richmond, and Dayton as well. URI was 99 going into the last night, now just outside 100 at 109. So we'll count you as well. So that's 8 teams in this 14-team league that are basically 100 and closer.
There's tremendous investment in basketball, obviously, in our league. Our league is right now positioned with another 2 or 3, 4 to 6 teams league.
Yeah.
And I think at the end of the day, we'll break through this year with multiple bids. And GW bring the most back. They should be. I think VCU and Dayton are always going to be at the top. George Mason's really got off to a good start again. St. Bonaventure's off to a great start again. Loyola at the top of the league has really gotten off to a slow start, but if they ever put it together in league play, have another one that's really going. But Big Ten top to bottom, 1 through 6, 6 through 10. Anybody can beat anybody. It's going to be a really deep league.
I think so. One more thing before we get back to last night's fantastic finish until the very end, because it was exciting. You guys made some very good plays, and I want to get into that. But injury update with Jameer, who came back into the game last, so I would assume that everything's pretty good. And also with Muhammad, I heard there's an update there.
Yeah, Muhammad, he's been dealing with knee issues, and he's really been dealing with it since the second practice of the season, where he pretty much sprained his knee, aggravated his meniscus again, and he took 3 to 4 weeks before he came back to practice, and then he started to play. And he was playing with pain. He's so competitive, and he's also such a tough kid that he was accustomed to saying, "Hey, I'm fine as long as I can tolerate it. I'm playing," and he won the Yale game for us. Yeah. He is such a winning DNA. He's such a tough competitor. He's very good defensively. And, we miss him, greatly. But after about 3 or 4 weeks of trying to figure out what to do, what's the next step, how are we going to handle it, he decided at the end of the day he wanted to go in and have the repair of his meniscus, get it cleaned up, and then give himself the best chance to see where he's at in 4 to 6 weeks in terms of can he come back and play. Mm-hmm. Had successful surgery yesterday where they obviously cleaned him up, took a foreign body out of there, worked on whatever they need to work on, and now today he started his rehab. And knowing how he approaches things from a competitive standpoint, he wants to get back, that hopefully in January he could reemerge for us, and that would be a huge boost as we continue to move through the season, because he's good for about 5 wins just on who he is.
Tell you what, Coach, going in, I got the impression that his leadership the aura of having him there was important to this team. He's a better player on the floor than I expected him to be. He's good.
He's won a lot of games.
Yeah.
He's played in big games. I think the thing about him is he's got a unique spirit about him. He's competitive. And he wants to be in there in the big moments. He wants to get the big rebound. He wants to guard the other team's best guy. He sort of gave us a little bit of an identity in terms of physicality and winning DNA with hard plays, offensive rebounds, you name it. And, we miss him right now. Drisa is working his way back. He's not 110%, obviously, but he's another guy.
It seems like a little slower getting back than maybe expected with Drisa.
I mean, the thing with Drisa, the thing what people probably need to know about Drisa is he's been off since August because of the stress reaction.
Okay,
so what he's going to go through is going to be getting reconditioned. He's got to go through this initial soreness of coming back. Hopefully, as we get to January, another few weeks, he starts to get his feet under him. But I'll be honest with you, we wouldn't have expected him to really be back until maybe this week or last week. He sucked it up and said, hey, I want to play. I have an opportunity to help. Just throw me in there for a couple minutes. I'll help. So great kid, great teammate. Now he's starting to get a little bit of the roll back, and I think as he keeps going, he's going to continue to kind of get a little bit more burst to him.
Hey, let's get into the finish of the game last night. 64-64, 16.9 seconds to go. McNeese has the ball coming out of the timeout. It's Archie and Miles Corey. Archie ended up hitting that shot. I thought Miles did a great job defending him. It was great defense, and it was great offense as well.
Yeah, I mean, a 1-4 low alignment. It's a tie game. I think the thing you want your team to understand coming out of the timeout is it's not about, like, protecting the three-point line. The two-point shot is the one you have to protect in a tie game. And I think when you go 1-4 low or you open the floor up like that, you would have hoped that we could have had a little more bluff and stay, maybe a little bit more of a body coming in at him as he's driving and then you're getting out. Mm-hmm. We kind of left Miles on an island, and Miles had to do the job. To Miles' credit, he took multiple dribbles. He turned. He pivoted. Good offense in terms of creating a little bit of space to get it off, and he made it. Mm-hmm. And he played a really good game. Tyshawn Archie played a really good game. He was a starter until they lost on the road at Incarnate Word.
Right.
And it's unique because I think they got bigger when they went with him off the bench. But the thing that really changed in my mind and evaluated them, they were the poorest defensive rebounding team in the country coming in. You think about their talent, their size, their length. Why were they rebounding as well? Since they've made the switch to their lineup after, they've been one of the best defensive rebounding teams. And one of the things that was really unique about last night's game, and when our team sees film, Tyshawn Archie in the game had about 9 one-on-one blockouts that he won as a 5'10", 165-pound guy.
Yeah.
And I think rebounding, willingness, fight, that's something that we're going to have to really amp up another 2 notches here this next couple games in terms of physicality that we play with on defense. We're doing fine. We're playing hard. We're doing good things. You're not playing against chopped liver out there last night, and you held them to their lowest offensive efficiency on the season. What can we continue to do better that we're going to need to do better? On the defensive end of the floor, we have to raise our competitive spirit in rebounding.
Yeah, absolutely. They're 2-time NCAA participant in the last 2 years, beat Clemson last year. I mean, that's a good program right there. 1.2 seconds to go. You come out of your timeout while they looked at the clock and made sure they got the time right and everything at 1.2. So you come out of that pause, and Tyler gets set to put it in. You had to burn a timeout to get back. Were you looking to get that ball around midcourt and get a quick timeout? What was the plan coming out?
We only had 1.2 seconds, so at the end of the day, you're trying to get a catch and a shot or a catch and a pass and a shot. They put the center on the ball to start, and to me, Tyler couldn't see. He called timeout, which was smart. We knew we had 2. So we sort of just tried to get the big guy off the ball by setting a pick on him on the baseline.
It almost worked.
And, when you set that pick, a lot of times that guy doesn't know you're there and he runs you over.
Yeah.
And it's a 50-50 if the ref says,
the officials don't want to give you that a lot.
They don't want to give it to you, but
a
lot of times the guy doesn't know he's there and he legitimately runs you over.
I thought Jameer looked good on that.
I thought we could maybe bait him on that, but at least we could get Tyler sort of as a quarterback rolling out and getting away from him to throw it down. We wanted a little, obviously, an exchange to see if we could throw it long, see maybe one of the 2 flyers going wide, maybe somebody coming up to the 3-point line on a catch. It just so happened in the game, because we crossed and did things, that Miles sort of got lost long. Mm-hmm. Tyler threw the touchdown, and it ended up having enough air under it where, sort of like a wide receiver, he bodied him, boxed him out, and he got the catch.
Oh, it's amazing.
The kid from Garcia from McNeese was on the right side of the floor.
He's over near me. Yeah.
Over by you.
Yeah, right.
And he's sort of like, a lot of guys would just stand and watch and say, hey, at the end of the day, if he catches it, he kept going. And not only did he keep going, he ran from the right sideline, followed the ball, got himself positioned under the basket, and when Miles turned, which looked like at the end of the day, damn, he's going to get a good look.
It was like a layup.
He was there for the block. Right. He made a great hustle play. That's why he's the conference player of the year, I guess.
No kidding, right? Yeah, and like I said on the air, I would like to tell you that there was contact and there should have been a foul call. That was a clean block.
He got it.
And I thought Miles did an unbelievable, and Tyler too. That's a great pass over the defender, 23. He couldn't get it, and it drops into Miles' hands, and he's looking at, it's a rushed layup, but basically he had a clear path until Garcia came in.
The thing you hope about on that is you get a clean catch and you get one off.
Yeah.
Not only did we get a clean catch and get one off, we actually got a 3-foot look.
Yeah.
And that kid, if the kid isn't there, he may get a layup.
Absolutely. I mean, it was basically that. It was rushed, and it was a little off balance because there's only 1.2 to start when you get it. But it was about as good a look as you could have gotten until Garcia came in and ruined everything. But anyway, that was that brings up the rule change, Coach. I think we talked about it before the season started. NBA, you call that timeout. 94 feet away, you get the ball advanced up over midcourt to take it out of bounds. Are you for that in college basketball?
I am.
Yeah. After last night, especially, but before that,
I think if you can call the timeout and obviously reposition the ball, you get a lot more offense.
Yeah.
You get quarter court plays. You get a lot more creativity in the game.
More exciting for fans.
And you get a lot more play action. You get a lot more creativity offensively in terms of advancing the ball and being able to run a lot more side out to score, like the NBA. They run a lot of side out actions to score. But the home run's a tough one.
Because that play last night is 1 in 100. Most of the time the ball bounces somewhere, it's the game over. But you guys executed perfectly to give an opportunity. But if it's over midcourt where you're sidelined out of bounds, you're always going to get a good look. Coach, you used your first challenge last night, and it was successful. Nice going.
I've been waiting on it.
Nice going. I was proud of you, man.
I'm very gun shy on using the challenge in the first half.
Yeah, because it's a timeout. Costs you a timeout.
Well, you call a timeout and you use the challenge, and if you don't get it, you don't get the challenge later in the game.
Right.
So, to me, you're going to be in a tough game, and you're going to have a lot of things in the last 8, 6, 4 minutes that at that point in time look to be a little bit more pivotal. James Whitford on my staff is an analytic guru, but he's always looking to call him in the first half because he thinks a goaltend and things of that nature are worth 2 points.
Yeah.
And if we could get the successful challenge in the first and you get your challenge back, whatever, it's good. But I'm gun shy on losing it because I feel like we had the 5 or 6 minute wherever we called that out of bounds play. That was a big play in the game. We were able to get another possession.
Without question.
Yeah, the challenge is it's really nerve-wracking because you're depending on somebody else to give you the answer. Because they're looking at the computer screen. The referee's looking at you, and he's putting pressure on you to call the timeout. Mm-hmm. But you need your staff to affirmatively have a plan of this is how we use them. And 2, the evaluation tool has to be no-brainer or don't use it till late.
I watch a lot of college basketball. It's the second time I've seen a coach use it this year. I think UNH, I was scouting one of our games that we were going to play, the team they were playing, and they used it. But I don't think people are used to it, and I think like you, they're saving it, and then the game ends, and they haven't used it yet. A couple of things about the game, Coach. Jameer Tripp got hurt, came back. First of all, he okay?
Yeah, Jameer took a knee to the thigh on that breakaway play. He got basically a thigh contusion or a Charlie horse. I think he was in pain at the time. He came back. He's sore today, but nothing more than a knee on thigh, and I think he'll be fine. He
is an impact player, man. He had a great game last night for you, 16
points. Yeah,
points.
He's playing really well. I think he's one of the most improved players, obviously. maybe in our league. He's got a chance to be really, really good. He's got a lot of room to continue to grow and get better, but he has a good attitude, works hard. He's one of those guys that has the unique ability to make plays in a lot of different ways, and he's doing a pretty good job for us. We're going to have to find more avenues to get him on the floor. Last night I think he's playing around
22, 23
He's playing around
minutes.
22.
Yeah.
We probably need to amp that up a little bit and give him another window to get to 26, 27 minutes.
He's been coming off the bench for you. Do you make him a starter, or do you keep the plan?
He's been in such a good rhythm. Sometimes when a guy's in a good rhythm, you don't mess with him. But I do think that an extra window earlier in the game could potentially be something that we go to.
Mm-hmm. Tyler Cochran has been fantastic for you all year. Last couple of games, he struggled a little bit.
He struggled a little bit. I think these last few games, one, I think fatigue is setting in a little bit.
Yep.
Mental fatigue is setting in a little bit with him. He's got to get his legs back under him a little bit. I do think he's a little bit down with the way that he's shooting the ball from three. I think he's frustrated a little bit. Last two games, there's been a lot of length and athleticism. Him getting to the basket has been difficult. But I'm looking for him to be have more spirit in the game. I think he's showing the effects of frustration at times. Out of frustration, I think he's gambling a little bit too much and taking himself out of plays. You don't want to take him out of too many because he's so naturally instinctual out there that he does a lot. But he's a very, very unique player. He's a very impactful player. And I think give him a few days of rest, get him a little freshened up. He'll continue to kind of thrive for us because we need him. I mean, he's important.
He led the country in steals going into last night's game. He had none last night.
Amazing.
It was the first game that he has had less than two.
It's hard for him to not get a steal.
Yeah.
They do a good job last night, though, of they play a unique style. They're methodical. They don't turn it over much. And one of the things that was unique about our game last night was, we have been turning teams over pretty good. Mm-hmm. And we didn't turn them over at the rate we were turning other teams over. And I think a lot of it had to do with their style, just how they play. But we needed some defense to offense, some easy buckets in that one last night versus them.
Jonah Hinton has been hitting threes, 7 of 10 against Temple, 7 of 14 against Providence, but turnovers last couple of games, 13 of them.
He's got to get that calmed down.
Yeah,
And,
Is he handling the ball too much, Coach? Do you want him to catch and shoot rather than
I
hand?
think Jonah at the end of the day, when he's playing really effectively, he's in rhythm in shots. He's playing off others. He's smart with his dribble in terms of how he's using it. When he's inefficient, he's multiple dribbles at the same time, or he's cutting loose with passes that are bad reads. But I think he's a prideful guy. I think he's really coachable, and I think at the end of the day, no one wants to play better than him. No one competes quite like him. I mean, he's a terrific competitor. But 13 turnovers in 2 games. He's on a bad stretch. We just got to get that calmed down.
And another Kian Tizere, early in the year, had spectacular plays every game, but I didn't think he moved the needle. Now he is a needle mover for you. I mean, he had a double-double last night, Coach.
Yeah,
he's an impact player.
He's doing good. He's having to do a lot for us.
Yeah.
He doesn't have as many breaks as he needs. He's tired sometimes because we're asking him to do a lot defensively for us in terms of his activity. He competed last night, very, very hard. And I think the cleaner he gets in being stronger with the ball, offensively, continuing to fight like crazy to be a better defensive rebounder. I know he had 9 last night, but I thought he could have had 15. He's got to do a better job there. But talk about a fantastic kid, coachable. He's given us everything he has right now, so hopefully he continues to develop.
A couple of quick ones before I let you go, Coach. Appeared down rotation late in the game. Basically 6 guys in that rotation down the stretch for you. Is that a sign of things to come or just addressing the situation?
There's certain feels in a game. Last night's game required more ball handling. Jameer needed to be out there more. Having RJ handle the ball a little more frees Miles up.
RJ and Miles on the floor at the same time.
Sometimes together
right?
is a little bit unique. But I think each game requires something different when you start to get a feel for what's going on. And a little bit more ball handling maybe last night was needed. Didn't really, at the end of the day with 21 turnovers, I'm not sure it worked out.
It was a good plan, though. I agree with you. It's logic, absolutely. Jalen Harper going to be with us, Coach, after the break. A word about about Jalen as he's gotten some minutes for you?
He's getting better.
Yeah.
Jalen is a unique player as a freshman because he has the physical gifts to be able to get in there and battle and compete, and that's what attracts. I think at the end of the day is like you're looking at somebody that you see down the road being a terrific two-way player. Mm-hmm. And early on here as we get going, we're trying to find different avenues and different opportunities for guys to get in there and get longer stretches. Sometimes we're in heated games. Sometimes we're in games where we're down and whatnot, and you go with an older guy or whatnot. But I like all of our freshmen. Jalen being on tonight, I'll just say that if he stays with it these next 2 weeks heading to Christmas, every season that I've been a head coach, somebody in January and February is completely different than they were in November and December. Okay. And I think all of our guys have a chance to continue to merge, whether it's Damon, whether it's Barrett. But what I say to these guys all the time is where you're at right now shouldn't be what you're thinking about. Where you're at right now should be where can I get better, what can I do to help. And at the end of the day, when you do get your opportunities, lock in on some of the things that you can't have not happen, not what you hope to have happen. Because you can't miss blockouts. You can't have defensive assignments, when you're young and you're in there for short bursts. You have to give confidence to people. And all young players need an opportunity to play if they're going to have an opportunity to get better. And we're going to continue to find different ways to maneuver with our lineup to get guys in there more. Jalen has an opportunity to be one of those guys for us as we emerge in the conference, getting more depth.
Final question, 7-4, 2 to go. If you get those two, 9-4, out of non-conference into conference play, can you say, hey, not you want to be perfect, but that shows that we're a good team ready to go?
Yeah, I think if you look at our non-conference schedule and you look at the amount of games that we had to endure not in our arena against quality opponents, winning on the road, doing some things neutral site, that we were going to be tested and we were going to have a hard schedule. And I don't think anybody said, hey, when we go into conference play, we're going to be undefeated with this schedule. But where will we be at the end of December as we head into league play? Are we going to be tested? Are we going to know what it feels like to get hit in the mouth? Are we going to know what it's like when the crowd's loud? Are we going to know what it's like to have to respond after adversity? Is it just going to be easy? And I think that we've prepared our team to date with 2 to go to really understand where our weaknesses are and where we have to improve. That's the biggest thing. As we go into league play, you're going to be in a lot of games that feel like McNeese. Can you be better in those games? Yeah. Our non-conference schedule has prepared us. We have to take it one at a time. But as we head into league play, I looked at a lot of our non-conference schedules that other teams have played in our league with good records and whatnot. We've played a very, very good schedule for our conference, and we just have to continue to get better. And I think we lock in on this next one at home next Tuesday, and let's figure a way out how to get that one. And then that's kind of how we've approached our team, each one. And we have a good workman-like attitude as a group. And I think this next jump that we make heading into January is probably one of the most important.
Coach, thanks for the conversation.
All right, Steve.
Thanks for all you do. Appreciate
See
it.
you.
Archie Miller with us here on the Archie Miller Coaches Show. We want to thank our friends at New England Laborers are training today's workforce to build tomorrow's communities with cutting-edge facilities in Rhode Island, Massachusetts, in the classroom and job site experience needed for a rewarding career in construction. And Newport Propane, Rhode Island's #1 choice for all your propane needs. Family-owned and operated since 1959, Newport Propane will treat you like part of the family. Visit them at Newport Propane. Jalen Harper going to be with us after the break. Sit down, Jalen. We're getting ready to go. And I want to thank you for being with us. We'll be back in just a bit from Boon Street Market. Got the, you a big fan of grilled chicken? How about a little vodka pasta sauce? That's me right there, brother. That's me right there. I'm looking forward to that. Back in just a bit. Welcome back once again to Boon Street Market. Steve MacDonald with Andrew Meehan, our engineer. I want to appreciate Andrew and all he does. And we also are joined by our very special guest, Jalen Harper. Jalen Harper, a 6'3 freshman out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Good old Philly. We get down to Philly a whole lot in the A-10, that is for sure. Used to be even more. Now we get down there a couple of times a year for sure. St. Joe's Prep and spent a year at Newman School just up the road in Boston. So Philly and Boston. Philly most of your life, all of your life. And then Boston for the last year. What do you like better? Two big cities. Coach is watching.
I think, well, I spent some time in New York, so I think Boston is just more of a laid-back version of New York. So I was pretty used to it. I mean, I guess when I would go out later at night, not super late, but it wouldn't be as hectic as it is in New York.
Yeah. New
It's
York's
way more
crazy.
calmer.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm biased, so of course I would say Philly.
Philly's the best of all of them? All right, that sounds good. And Rhode Island has a good tradition of Philly guys. Catino Mobley back in the late 90s went to the Elite Eight with URI. Fats Russell in more recent times, 2017 to 2021. And Pappy Owens, long time ago, back in the early 80s. Did you know who Fats Russell was when you came here?
I didn't know he went to Rhode Island. I heard of the name before.
Yeah.
I didn't know he went to
Okay. And Catino, same thing?
No, I mean, I've been
from the NBA?
Yeah, from the NBA.
So that's pretty cool. So you're in that Philly tradition, man. You
Yeah,
got a lot to live up to,
yeah.
right? Very important next 4 years for you. Absolutely. Hey, let's talk a little bit about where you come from first. St. Joe's Prep, and then you were shooting guard there, right? And then you made the transition. You went to Newman School to really work on a new position. Talk about that.
Yeah, I think just the whole point of that was just to get mature on and off the court, but especially on the court, just in that position, having the ball in my hands, just being able to learn a different part of the game that I'm used to. I think allowed my game to expand even more.
Was that a tough transition?
Yeah, it was. It was hard, but it was something you just need to buy into, and then you'll reap the rewards. I think that's what I did, and I made the most of my opportunity there.
And you said that you became a leader, as you just mentioned, with that point guard. It's like quarterback in football, point guard, and it's the same thing. How did you show that leadership? How did you lead?
I think the main thing is just with my voice. It's something I've been trying to work on. Just I would say since St. Joe's, to be honest. I think even my coach back then, he would get on me, Coach Harrigan. He would get on me about just use my voice to lead, being a communicator, and leading by example. I think, and you obviously need all those things as a point guard to win games. So that's what I had to buy into and start to teach myself how to do.
What's more fun, being a shooting guard, kind of a catch and shoot situation, or running the show with that ball in your hands?
I think I would say running the show, but I don't really look at it as running the show. I think of it more as just being able to lead or organize a team. It feels like you have more control over it than when you're on a shooting guard.
Yeah, definitely. 'Cause you're a shooting guard. Basically, you're saying, "Hey, here I am.
Yeah.
This is where I want the ball. Get it to me." As a quarterback in that point guard position, you got to know where everybody needs to get the ball, right, and where they shouldn't get the ball, right? Exactly, and run the show. And you guys, you won the state championship, right?
Yeah, I think that's what you just said. There was probably one of the main things that John Carroll from my old school from Newman, he taught me just you got to know personnel if you're going to play point guard. You got to know where the whole team is supposed to be, even when they don't know.
So, do you call yourself a point guard now, or a shooting guard, or combo guard?
I mean, I just say combo.
Whatever needs to be done, right? Exactly. Whatever gets you on the floor. And you've been able to get on the floor for the University of Rhode Island. As a true freshman, it's tough. All right. So, and especially with such a veteran lineup, you get a lot of grads, a lot of redshirt seniors. So to get on the floor in 6 games of the 11 so far, you got to feel pretty good about that. Coaches sending you a signal that you are an important part of this thing.
Yeah, I think it's hard, but like I said, it's just something you got to buy into and just keep faith in. As long as you put in the work and you keep faith, things will come. So I think just trusting in that thought process and also trusting in what Coach Miller has going on. I think it allows me to not be in my head a lot and just work as hard as I can in practice, allow myself to get on the court.
You've got out there those 6 games. You've done a really good job, played some great defense, and a big part of the team in those games. Talk about that experience, getting on that Division I floor in that competition. Was it what you expected? What was what you thought you were going to get, and what was a little different?
I think, the first game against Stetson, that was the only game where I'm on the court, and I'm just wow that I'm on the court. It's my first game.
Everybody gets their first game, right? Yeah.
But since then, I think, just with the work I put in off the court, it just, when I step on the court, allows me to feel comfortable and confident and just believe in what I have to do.
A lot of guys say that they could never imagine how fast the game is until they get in a real game. Did you notice that?
No, not really. I think just because of the pace we play at in practice, it pretty much prepares everybody on our team for that pace in game, so it didn't really affect me as much.
Now you got into the Providence game at the Amp. Was that the biggest crowd you played in front of?
Yeah, I think, that was a crazy crowd. I think I played in one other big game like that, and that was when I played my senior year. I played against Roman Catholic. That gym was packed, but obviously it wasn't Providence's home court. So, yeah.
But they had a packed house, and a lot of URI fans there too. But a lot of Providence fans, obviously, their home game. When you're in a game like that, in a big arena like that, do you notice that, or quickly does it become just a court in front of you?
No, I think it becomes a court fast. I think you notice that when you're standing still or sitting still, but in the game you're going back and forth. You got to worry about other things. I would say the crowd only came into interference when stuff happened. So when it was loud, when Providence scored, but other than that, it didn't really affect me on the court.
The fans have gotten a taste of seeing you out there, and I know there's going to be a lot more. Coach gave encouraging words a moment ago. I don't know if you were listening when we were talking, but he talked about how that second half of the year, usually he has somebody that is able to step into an even more important role. So there's that laying out there. What do people see in Jalen Harper when you're going good? What are they going to see when you're out there for extended minutes?
I would just say just aggression. I think, especially on the defensive end, I play with a certain type of passion and pride. I take pride in myself to not get scored on. So, especially on defense, I think offensively, just a hard worker. I could shoot the 3-ball, but I can also go to the basket. And I think just bringing that level of aggression is something that can help any team. So it'd be good.
What's the feedback you get from Coach when you're talking about what he needs you to do?
Just continue to build their trust and do what they're asking us to do, and doing it at a very high level with little mistakes. I think that would just help me the most. Continue to do that.
If there's one area of your game that you say, hey, I'd like to, by the end of this season, or certainly by the beginning of next season, I want to be better at this, what would it be?
I think shooting. I think I'm a capable shooter, but I want to become a very elite shooter, and that only comes with work. So that's just something I've been working on really since the summer.
I know Coach Carroll was a big factor in you coming to URI. Talk about your relationship with him and how he has helped.
I think he's helped a lot. He's really authentic. He's able to I'm able to have a one-on-one convo with him without feeling any type of way. I think it's a good bond that I have with AC, especially even when we work out, he knows what I need to work on, things like that. So it's a good relationship.
What do you think about this team? Right now you're 7-4, got a couple of games left before the A-10. You look at it and say we can do some damage in this league.
Yeah, because I think I kind of like where we're at because we played a lot, like Coach Miller was saying, we played a lot of tough teams.
Yeah.
So I think us being 7-4 is worth more than being 11-0 and not having such a tough schedule because it's preparing us for conference play. So I think we're at a good spot. Everybody on the team is bought into the system and works hard. I think this is probably one of the first teams I've ever been on where we all are headed towards the same goal when it comes to the season and all have the right mindset.
That's a great answer. I like that. 11-0, not playing anybody. Yeah. What's it get you, right?
Yeah.
But you've been through it. You played tough games, and you come out on the other side with a winning record and ready to go in conference play. And I've seen a bunch of your practices, and you guys go pretty hard at practice, too. You got a lot of older guys. Yeah. First of all, they're 4 or 5 years older than you, right? Yeah. And do you learn from them? Do they help you out and the other freshmen saying, hey, here's how it works?
Yeah, for sure. I don't think it's just it never happens from just one combo. It's just something you have to, as a freshman, you have to be present in the moment. So that means looking at the older guys, looking at their routines before games, after games, before practices. You just learn a lot from seeing, because they've been doing this for so long. So you just notice how to get into certain routines and what to do.
That's a good point, too. We finish up all the time with Know Your Hometown with our player guests. So that means we're going to talk a little about Philly, right? Good old Philly. Not bad at all. So now these, see, I'm a couple of years older than you, at least a couple, maybe 3 or 4. So I'm looking at Rocky with Philly. You probably haven't even heard of Rocky. Have you seen the Rocky movies at all?
No, not really.
Not one?
Creed, I feel like
Can you live in Philly without seeing a Rocky movie?
I feel like Creed is a part of Rocky. I watch Creed.
Yeah, Creed. Okay, yep. All right, sounds good. I'm going to count that. Where is the Rocky statue in Philadelphia? Where is it? Is that right in front of a very important building?
Yeah, the Art Museum.
Yeah, Philadelphia Art Museum. Very good. That's excellent. Nice job. You're 1-0. Now, let's see. What did Barrett last time? I think he got 4 out of 5.
Okay.
So we need you to run the table here so you come back and tell him that because you guys roomed together, right, in the summer? Yeah. Are you still room together now?
Yeah, me, him, and Vaughn. Yeah,
okay. Oh, great. So you guys, how does that work out? Pretty good?
Yeah, we have a fun time. We're freshmen, so.
Who's the neatest of the three, and who's the messiest? Who's leaving that place a mess?
Vaughn is definitely the messiest. I would say Bear's the neatest. I'm neat, but I think Bear's a little bit.
You're right in the middle?
Yeah.
Right. So, okay. That's the way to be, right in the middle. That's the normal one is right in the middle, right? Yeah. You don't want to be too messy. You don't want to be too neat either, right? Absolutely. So Philadelphia Art Museum is the correct answer. That's great. And how many Rocky movies were there for a guy who hasn't watched a Rocky movie? Sorry to throw this one at you, but.
No, I've definitely heard of Rocky movies.
So I'm going to count Creed and Creed 2 and Rocky Balboa as non-Rocky movies. Those are like the after. So how many ones with numbers at the end of it? You know, like Rocky 1 or Rocky 2?
Like 5.
5 is exactly the right number. That's great. Oh, Barrett, you are in for it today, Barrett. We got 2-0 right here. The Liberty Bell, another big tourist thing down in Philadelphia. What building is that in front of? A historic building that the Liberty Bell is in front of.
Independence Hall.
Independence Hall is where you have gotten around Philly, my friend. You've done a great job. When Jim Herrick was the coach at URI, right, back in the late 90s, when Kit Mobley was playing, we were in Philly, and he always liked to do a little lesson or something when we were in different towns and stuff. So he had the bus driver after practice the night before, maybe after shoot around. He said, "Could you bring the team over to the Liberty Bell?" Right, so they parked the bus close to the Liberty Bell. He stands up to the guys on the bus and he said, 5 minutes to walk over there, 5-minute tour, 5 minutes to get back. Everybody goes. So we went over and he got this guy from the National Park Service to give us a 5-minute little speech about the Liberty Bell. And you know what? For the rest of your life, you can say you saw the Liberty Bell, right? You lived with it, for God's sake. You're in town, so you're all set. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to do a couple of sports questions to wrap up. Philly sports questions, all right? Who is the leading scorer for the Philadelphia 76ers right now? Tyrese, absolutely. Tyrese Maxey, 32 points. Next in line is Joel Embiid with like 18. Been hurt and everything, right? Yeah. So the Eagles. Right? You an Eagles fan?
Yeah, I'm an Eagles fan.
All right. Well, that's because they won the championship, right? No. Bandwagon jumper is what we got here. Who did they lose to on Monday night?
The Chargers.
The Chargers, right? Did you watch the game?
I watched the second half.
All right, second half. All right, I'll buy that. And the last one. What NFL record did your quarterback, Jalen Hurts, set in that game on Monday night? What did he do that no quarterback or no player has ever done in the NFL ever?
Does that have something to do with rushing?
Not only rushing. It's got to go a little higher than that. What you got?
Passing yards?
Yeah. I think you're cheating here. He had 2 turnovers on one play. He threw a pick, right? And the guy that got the pick for the Chargers' hand, right? He comes back and gets tackled, and he fumbles. And Jalen picked up the fumble, and then he returned it, and he fumbled. Yeah. So he had the interception and a lost fumble as well on the same play, same snap. How about that, huh?
Yeah, I seen that clip on Monday night.
I'm going to tell Barrett that you got that one so you can tell him you went 5 for 5, okay? Hey, Jalen, thanks for being with us. We appreciate it very much, man. Absolutely. Good luck the rest of the way. We'll be rooting for you. Thanks, everybody, coming down to Boon Street Market. Great place. The Archie Miller Coaches Show, next game Tuesday night. And I want to tell you about a couple of things. What do I want to tell you about? Hang on one second here. Don't leave us. Where did I put that paper? Fan 4-packs on sale now for New Year's Eve Atlantic 10 opener. That's against Loyola Chicago. And that's right after, was it January 3rd, I think it is, this game? Huh? Oh, New Year's Eve is the December 31st. Thanks very much. All right. So it's on sale now. New Year's Eve, A-10 opener against Loyola Chicago. 4 ticks and 4 sodas and 4 hot dogs. What a great deal. And New Year's Eve basketball at the Ryan Center. The 4-packs are on sale now. Go to 874-RAMS at GoRhody.com. Yeah, GoRhody.com will get you there. So get involved with that, and we'd love to see you out there for the A-10 opener. Got 2 games before there, and we'd love to see that as well. Thanks so much for being with us. Have a great night, everybody.